Hello, hello, nerds, and welcome back to another episode of Video Nerds.
All right, let's do this.
Video Nerds.
Hell yeah.
Right, today we are going to be doing 65. Why don't you tell us about it? Because you love dinosaurs, man.
Yep. Do you love Kylo Ren? Do you love dinosaurs? Well, I got the movie for you. News to me. So apparently, this movie, they are not thrown into the past. They are another civilization cruising through, and they crash land on Earth 65 million years ago. So they got to deal with dinosaurs. That is the synopsis for this movie that I was unaware of.
Yeah, and you find that out within, what, the first 5 to 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's
You're
pretty
like,
much...
wow.
Yeah, the trailer had me thinking that it was a, thrown into the past kind of deal, because they didn't, like, specifically say, like, the whole thing, it says, like, Earth had a visitor, but I don't know how I, like, misinterpreted that. But I did, so it confused me. I was like, wait, they're not just from Earth? But yeah, it was an instant sell for me. As Mandrew mentioned, I love dinosaurs. So if something has dinosaurs in it, I'm in.
All in, man. Right off the bat. Now, that's where the name came from, because it's 65 million years ago. Ha ha ha.
Big brain.
Yep. So that's one of those things where I was like, why is it 65? And then I had to think about it even after watching the movie. Oh, yeah, it literally said it in the title. 65 million years ago, a visitor crash landed on Earth. Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Now, before we get into this movie, I want to know, man, what is your favorite dinosaur movie? Or at least your top 2 or 3?
I would say my number one dinosaur movie would probably have to be Jurassic Park Lost World.
Lost World, huh? That's controversial there. So why is it Lost World?
Because we get to see a T-Rex in San Diego. Or I think it's San Diego.
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll have to look that up.
I don't know.
But yes,
when I was a kid,
in
that
city.
was just so cool. Just one, the Velociraptors are like everywhere. I love Velociraptors. And 2, yeah, we get to see a dinosaur interacting with people, like in just cities, which I also really liked, because as a kid, like, that idea was awesome and terrifying. Like the part where, they look in the backyard and there's just a T-Rex. It's just like, I don't know. It was just insane to me. So I was just like, this movie's awesome.
That was a pretty cool scene, though. That's probably got to be my favorite part of that movie. Them being on the island, not so much. But afterwards, I was like, yeah, I kind of like the ending here. It was kind of...
Yeah, so that's my number one. I don't know if I would really have, like, other slots. It's just kind of like after that, everything just kind of falls into, like, dinosaur. Jurassic Park, the very first one, classic. But I haven't really found myself going back and watching it very much. Like, Lost World just had a special place for me because, Jurassic Park, the first one, came out the year I was born. So I don't really have,
Okay,
like...
I was going to ask that.
I don't really have, like, a memory of that. But Lost World, I did see as a little kid. And it's just, special place in my heart.
I got to tell you, mine is, of course, like everybody. Well, not everybody, but it is the original Jurassic Park. And mainly because of the way that they advertised it. With all the previews, you never saw a dinosaur. It never showed you what the dinosaurs looked like. And they kept that under wraps until the movie came out. And then they started showing, like, the T-Rex chase scene and whatnot. But they literally showed as little as possible. So the first time you saw one in that movie, if you saw it on opening day like I did, it was when the Brontosaurus, is that what it was?
Yeah.
The big giant one in the beginning. Yeah, and that was just so amazing. I was like, holy crap. And the way that they just did that, no spoilers. It was very tight-lipped, no social media back then, so nothing leaking. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I could imagine. Especially with like, I don't know, like it's dinosaurs in a realistic setting that doesn't look super goofy. So I could only imagine seeing that without trailers spoiling the entire movie like they do now.
I have to say that Jurassic Park is probably one of those movies. It might be the one movie that I've seen the most in my life.
Damn.
Because it was always the go-to movie. Even if I didn't watch the whole thing, I would turn it on and eat lunch. Always have like a sandwich and soup growing up. And I would, so many times I can remember doing that. Constantly. Just watching that. And usually I stop towards the T-Rex part when the cars go off and then everybody splits up. And that poor guy got killed sitting on the toilet. That's usually when I cut it quits, and then finished it later on VHS.
Damn.
All right, so now back into the real movie that we're doing, 65. Okay, so you already went into the intro part of this. Now, what was your favorite? Oh, you know what? I almost forgot something.
Huh?
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
What was your impression of the dinosaurs in there, except the ending dinosaurs? I'm talking about the ones building up to the end.
The like crocodile-esque, like four-legged ones you're talking about, or the very, very small ones at the beginning?
There was very small ones. There was the crocodile ones. There was the flying ones. There was all sorts of weird ones. And then there was the little buddy one too.
That was sad.
Yeah.
But I thought they were cool. Like, it kind of gave me like I looked into it. So apparently they are real dinosaurs. They're depicted a little differently in this movie as opposed to how they would be, I guess, like a little more accurately depicted, quote unquote, because, we obviously don't know exactly what dinosaurs
structurally.
look like. Yeah. But I thought they were pretty cool. They came off more as like, I don't know, they came off more as like antagonists than actual just like animals, because they like hunt them down the entire movie for like some reason. It's like there's nothing to eat except for them, which found very strange.
Yeah, and you do have a point. They were more antagonists. That is something I didn't even think about.
Yeah, it's almost like, here comes the bad guy rolling with his crew, as opposed to just like, these are just animals, and, they see me and they kind of want to eat me. But I thought they looked cool. I liked the whole four-legged thing as opposed to like a bipedal animal running after you. It, like, for some reason, for me, like, added to the fear a little bit, because for me, for some reason, something running at me with two legs, it's a little scarier. Something running at you with four legs, just hauling ass at you. I don't know why. That just seems a little scarier.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's that, for me, it's that perception of something with four legs is going to be twice as fast because it has two more legs.
True. And I don't know, it's just like this like primal thing where it's like a four-legged animal running at you is so far removed from like a person, or it's so much farther removed than a person. I don't know, like it just like gives this like extra layer of fear, and I'm just like, oh god damn it, this thing is gonna get me.
Yeah, that you make a good point there. Kind of like xenomorphs. They are more frightening than predators to me. Way more.
Yeah.
And it's probably because of that.
Yeah, it's just
they run around on four legs and crawl on walls and shit.
Yeah, it's just this like, I mean, animalistic is a bad description because they are animals. I mean, xenomorphs basically are portrayed as animals. Yeah, it's like, it's like primal thing. It's just like, it's like, it's not even like an animal at that point. It's just like a little monster, I don't know, like it, super weird perception of it, but I feel like that just was a cool thing. And they changed it up a little bit, when you think dinosaurs, you have like 4 or 5 that almost every movie draws from. You know, you got T-Rex, Velociraptor, Brontosaurus / Brachiosaurus, Stegosaurus, and then Triceratops. Those are always the ones that go in with everything. This one, they changed it up a little bit. You know, we still get a little play with you know, the typical players, but I thought this was cool. Dinosaurs looked really good as far as, like, you know, dinosaurs can, being, you know, you can't use real ones or anything.
Yeah, the CGI wasn't bad.
Yeah. What was your take on it?
My take on the dinosaurs in this.
Yeah.
I enjoyed them. I actually didn't think of your point there about unusual players and then being on 4 legs, most of them. So that's a really good point. For me, it was more just like, you actually put words to it for me. They're antagonists. It just felt weird to me that they just kept on, all these different groups of dinosaurs kept on chasing them. And for me, it was just more like, this is just a dangerous place. But yeah, it was kind of weird that they were always getting attacked by these things.
Yeah, it almost felt like a John Wick movie. They're all after John Wick.
Yeah.
As opposed to they're just animals looking for something to eat, and that looked interesting.
And it took forever for Adam Driver, who played Mills, to use his space gun. I wanted to see what it did for so long.
Yeah, that confused the hell out of me in the beginning, too, because these little tiny dinosaurs are like the thing that they didn't deal with at the very beginning. And I was just like, dude, just shoot them. Like, what are you doing? You literally have a gun. But then again, I didn't really understand the mechanics of it. I don't understand, like, none of his technology is, like, explained, which is kind of, you know, it kind of makes sense. Because, you know, it's like, why would he? But, you know, so I was like, does he not have enough ammo? Because it kind of looks like a self-recharging thing. Yeah, I was waiting on that too.
Yeah, some sort of self-recharging energy-equipped rifle, which pretty badass. It actually took out an entire big old dinosaur, a T-Rex, man. He took out one with that damn gun and then ran out, so that sucks.
It happens.
All right, so story-wise, it was kind of interesting. The fact that you get that right off the bat, that they are pretty much aliens from a completely different civilization that explores, that populates new places, and that's what his character did. He was a pilot and bringing explorers out on a 2-year mission. And of course, like the usual tropes, they're in cryogenic stasis, and then the ship goes down and people die. He is able to find one survivor, a little girl, and that ties in with his whole story, which this is so much. It's like constantly he's getting these visions of his daughter. They're both looking at these old videos, old messages that he got from his daughter, and get kind of an emotional aspect from this towards the end. You kind of feel like you know where he's coming from now, but it's more like a father finding a new daughter to me type of situation. How did you feel about that emotional aspect to this?
Yeah, it you definitely hit it. Like, you know, we go through, we get messages here and there, and then we come to find that she had actually passed away while he's been gone on this trip, because it's a 2-year-long voyage, I believe.
Yep.
And while he's, like, when he leaves, he gets a message saying that she had come down with something, and then later messages say that she'd passed. So in the crash, Koa, the girl that he takes on, her family, and along with everybody on the ship except for them two, ended up dying. So he takes her on as his new, I guess, pseudo daughter. And the thing that was weird to me, though, so to get her to go with the plan to get to the escape ship, which they do not speak the same language, so he has to mime to her and, like, kind of tell her, like, oh, your family is on the mountain, that's why we have to go to the mountain. Which I think is a little unnecessary, because it's like, what is she gonna do? It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, your family's gone, we're the only survivors, we need to go if we're gonna escape. Like, sure, she'd be very emotional and everything, but it's like, what what's she gonna do? Is she gonna be like, oh no, it's cool, just leave me? So I thought that was a little unnecessary.
I think that was like kind of a pivot point on his end, because he actually tells her the whole situation right off from the front when after he captures her when she's trying to escape, and then she realizes that he's actually from the ship. So then he's explaining this to her, then finds out that she doesn't speak his language, and his translator's broken. So obviously there's many different languages in this civilization here. After that, he's trying to communicate, and then pivots when she says family.
Yeah.
And I think that was just a way for him to just be like, you know what? We've got to go here. We're just doing it. Screw it.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I still think it was like a little strange because it felt like it's set up for conflict later. Because, you know, a film typically will have a lie told at the beginning. They grow close, and as they grow closer, there's a conflict that happens. The truth comes out, and that gives the initial like split between the main characters, and they come together in the end because in the end they need each other more than they say. It's a very typical trope, but I thought it was just kind of setting that up in like an unnecessary way because it's like they're the only two survivors. Let's stop playing like she's gonna like sit behind just because her family's gone. She's gonna want to get off of the planet with the big scary lizards.
And honestly, if you're on a ship being transported to another planet, you gotta understand that if you're in a crash, shit happens, man.
Yeah, if you're only ever seeing one other person and the ship is just like completely wrecked, everyone's probably gone. So it's a little strange, but then again, she is portrayed to be like a young girl, so maybe they're playing off of like I don't know exactly how old she's supposed to be, so I don't want to say like a kid's mentality, but definitely a immature mentality.
Look to me, maybe like 12, around 12.
Yeah,
somewhere like that. I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah, so maybe they're trying to play off the whole like immature mentality where it's like a kid would never think that would happen.
All right, I already know your answer to this one, but what's your saddest part of the movie?
Why do they have to do my boy like that? They go and they help out a dinosaur that's stuck in a tar pit or a quicksand, something like that.
Yeah, it's like a weird gooey tar pit type thing, like green, I think.
Yeah. And as soon as they're done pulling it out, they start going about their business. They're like, oh, yay, we helped. And then they turn around and the dinosaur's getting eaten. Why?
Yeah, and it was a cute dinosaur. It was like, that dinosaur is definitely going to come back because it's a baby. And it's going to be their best friend. But then, bam, all these little tiny dinosaurs just eat it, man. It's messed up.
I did not appreciate that one bit.
Yeah, and that definitely upped the factor for me in thinking that that's a very hostile world.
Yeah, they did not pull any punches when it came to just full on eliminating our little dinosaur buddy. Which I thought that was gonna go full like Lost World, where they take it on. The mom comes, it's T-Rex, and then they give the baby back, and then the mom leaves them alone because it saved their baby. But nope, they're just like, haha, I got you.
Yep, nothing's safe in this world. Not even your little buddy you saved.
Nope, sad life. What was your saddest moment, or is that the same one?
That's the same one. It has to be because there's really no other. There's no other thing. There's the whole thing about finding out that the daughter died, but you kind of figured that was going to happen regardless.
Yeah, and plus it's hard to be emotionally attached to a hologram.
Yeah, they depicted his daughter in a hologram form a lot because they brought along all these tapes of messages in memories and stuff that he had of her, and always out there with a hologram.
Yeah,
which the hologram looked pretty badass from the front. Looked human.
Yeah, the technology they showed in it was definitely a very cool part, but the dinosaurs are the things that win it for me.
Okay, so dinosaurs win it, but what was your favorite piece of technology that he had?
I would say the little grenade things. He had these little like tiny silver balls that he would throw, and they were just explosives. I thought that was cool. Just like the different applications you could use that for. What about you?
Yeah, they were pretty awesome. All right, mine has to be that it was a flask type of thing, but you could put water in it, and then he put a berry in it to see if it was poisonous. Heck yeah, that's my favorite right there. That would be so useful.
Just instantly tell you if it's good or not.
Yeah, and then I'm guessing since they were just filling up water from willy-nilly, that it cleans the water too.
Yeah.
Or at least tells you if it's good to drink.
Yeah, some kind of filtration. But yeah, a lot of cool little gadgets in here that barely get used.
Yep, and then he loses his backpack with everything on it.
Yeah.
Okay, now the ending, man. The showdown with not one, not two, but 3 T-Rexes. How was that for you?
Pretty cool, but I think the coolest part was not the showdown. It was just seeing the dinosaurs. It was almost like you watch a movie and then you get like a really cool cameo. You're like, oh, I know who that is. You know, it was almost like a dinosaur cameo for me. I was just like, hell yeah. Now we got the big boys, the big players in the building.
Yeah, that reminds me of a feeling that I had going to the theaters and watching Jurassic World. It was one of those things where I loved Jurassic Park so much. Second one, yeah, it was fun. Third one, I did not like. And then, you know, finally, you get to see a working park. It's actually been going on for years. People are there. And when they started to show that, all the attractions and then going over the island and everything, I was like, I just got this feeling inside like, oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for my entire life. It was great.
You know, part of that movie made me really angry. Like,
What's
irrationally angry. Why did they have to do the person watching them that bad? Like, what the hell, man? The aunt appoints like one of her assistants or something to watch the 2 boys. She gets taken by a flying dinosaur, dropped into the thing, practically drowned, and then the big Mosasaurus gets her and like pulls her down deep and like kills her. I was like, what? Why did they do her like that? Like she was a villain or something. Like, they were so mean to her.
Yeah, and it was like her fault that the kids totally dipped out in a crowd of people and ditched her.
Yeah, dude, like that made me like so mad. I was like, why did they just like kill her in such a horrible way? Like, they don't even do freaking I can't remember his name in it. Freaking InGen dude that bad.
Oh man. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Can't think of his name. But you know, bad guy in the movie. Why didn't they do him that bad? Like, Jesus. He just gets eaten real quick. And yeah.
Well, I think they just had to throw in one of those crazy ass scenes, and they're like, you know what? Screw it. It's the assistant.
Yeah, I just thought that was really mean. It was like mean spirited. Like, somebody didn't like that actress.
That was pretty mean.
There's like, you know, it'd be cool if she died in the movie in a horrible way. It's like, man, why are you being like this?
What if she's in the movie and then she's like, can you make me die like really cool?
The whole Samuel L. Jackson thing. Just don't make me go out like a bitch. Damn.
Chomp.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, but yeah. I love Jurassic World. Didn't love that part.
All right, so let's get to the rating part, man.
All right.
What are you thinking on your rating on this movie?
Just because of dinosaurs, I didn't think the story was that great. I didn't think the characters were compelling. I thought they had like good moments, but I'm gonna go D10 because I would probably watch it again just to see dinosaurs. How about you?
I'm gonna go D8/D10 because there is a chance that I might not watch it again, but there is a high chance that I will because I like science fiction shit and I do like dinosaurs too. Maybe not as much as you, but you know, the moment might strike me. The story wasn't too great, like you said. It was decent. It definitely had a nice flow. especially with the reality finding out that the daughter is actually dead. You kind of feel like, oh, is he trying to survive because of his daughter? At first, no, and then you're like, maybe he changed his mind. It's like one of those things, you're back and forth. So that was kind of cool. The whole Earth 65 million years ago, that's probably the one thing that I'm like, that's different. All right, I'll buy it. So that's what gave it a more of a rating for me. So I'll probably go more of a D10 because I probably will watch it again, but maybe even a D8. I might not, but we'll see.
We'll see.
All right, so next time, man, we're going to compare 2 movies. What are your thoughts on that?
Ooh, buddy. We're in for some movies they don't want to watch while eating. Pretty fun, though.
Pretty fun. All right, we'll catch you next time to compare 2 movies. See you later.
See ya.